We haven't yet mentioned our frequent convenience store purchases. The two main corner stores in Taiwan are 7-Eleven and Family Mart. They're pretty close, with a few differences in product varieties. For instance, to keep us going, 7-Eleven has the best rice balls, stuffed with soybean paste noodles, for John, and soft serve and whole roasted sweet potatoes for Heike. Taiwanese coffee is rather disappointing, plus hot coffee when it's 32 degrees outside isn't always desirable. But through trial and error, John has found a cold canned coffee at Family Mart that is actually surprisingly good. Plus, Family Mart plays a fun little song every time someone goes in or out, which must loop incessantly in employees' heads while they're trying to sleep. We haven't yet tried the tea eggs. We're tempted because they often smell enticing, but there's something off-putting about eggs floating all day in brown liquid in an open crock-pot. Our train from Hualien headed down the east coast, passing farms, stepped rice fields, and broad floodplains leading out to the ocean. This train was a milk run, making numerous stops along the way. Good thing we brought a snack, 3 Taiwanese wheel cakes, 1 cheese and corn, 1 red bean, and 1 custard. Near the bottom of the island, the train cut across the west coast, where mango orchards and betel nut palm farms dominated the landscape. 4 hours on the train got us to Kaohsiung. It has a really nice station, on which they are just completing the final touches of a major renovation. Kaohsiung is a newer city with wider streets and more sprawl. We checked into the J Hotel. Our room was on the 8th floor, which is actually the 7th because like most buildings here, there is no 4th floor. In Chinese, the word for the number 4 sounds eerily similar to the word for death, so they tend to avoid it when possible.
Want cheap real estate here? Buy a place at 444 4th Street.
But being 7 floors up was still high enough to be overlooking the nearest buildings for a pretty good view. That evening we made our way to Yaohei Night Market. First stop was a vegetarian restaurant called Really Good Flavor Vegetarian Food.
Just laying it out there, straightforward. No stupid puns, like tonight vegan a party like it's 1999.
While waiting in line, we were handed the white tourist menu with pictures and English writing.
Again, no messing around.
But somehow we still ended up being served one incorrect dish. Once we got that straightened out, we had mutton soup, which was basically just broth with a few chunks floating on top. Good, but not substantial. And Angelica noodle soup. Angelica, or female ginseng, is an aromatic root, which gave the soup a nice flavor. Still hungry, and having only spent $4 so far, we ordered another couple of dishes. Fried noodles and sesame noodles, which were both basic but tasty. Next, John got a Taiwanese hot dog, which was the same as the sausage on sticky rice, except this time the rice was flavored with basil and topped with soy sauce, spicy sauce, garlic, and pickled cucumber. Near the end of the market, we found what John had read about and been looking for: quail egg shrimp balls. For such a simple treat, shrimp and quail's eggs fried together in a round mold, topped with salt, pepper, and cayenne, they were surprisingly delicious. After, as we neared our hotel, we thought it was weird there were so many spas around, and that they were still open at 11 p.m. Looking through the frosted glass at the women lounging in the lobbies, we realized spas here are like massage parlors in North America.
A little rub, a little tug.
Maybe we weren't in the greatest area of town after all. The next morning we sat down to breakfast for the first time since leaving Edmonton, and that's only because it was included with our hotel room. Then we walked to get to a walk, the Shushan hiking trail. The path and stairs took us up into the hills. It was beautiful, with lush jungle, colorful birds, and big butterflies. But that's not why we were there.
Monkeys.
Yep, the area is informally known as Monkey Mountain because...
Monkeys!
The Formosan rock macaque, also known as the Taiwanese macaque, lives throughout the area, and on the hike we took, you are practically guaranteed to see...
Monkeys!
Clearly, somebody was excited to see wild monkeys.
Monkeys!
Wild is technically true, but the monkeys definitely hang around where the people are, because they know that's where their bread gets buttered. It was a really cool experience to just have the monkeys about doing monkey things. Heike chatted with one of the men who maintain the tea pavilion where the monkeys congregate. They're a hiking club that supplies free water and fresh brewed millet and ginseng tea to everyone coming through. But really, the hikers are a lot less interesting than the
monkeys!
We hiked back out and walked to the Lotus Pond, known for its various elaborate shrines on the water. Unfortunately, Arguably the most audacious shrine, the Dragon and Tiger Pagodas, is undergoing refurbishment, so it was covered in scaffolding. But the Spring and Autumn Pavilion with its huge colorful dragon was really fun. Also fun was the wakeboarding machine. No boats required, just grab on and get pulled around the watercourse. As we circumnavigated the pond, we saw lots of different ducks and geese, hundreds of turtles that obviously get fed all the time because they swim with their mouths wide open toward any person who gets near. And as the sun started to set, the bats came out to feast on the little bugs flying around. From Lotus Pond, we went to Ri Feng Night Market. We got some pineapple tea, which is made by boiling pineapple with green tea, and quite delicious. We also picked up some mochi balls covered in coconut and peanut powder that you dip into a sweet milk sauce and then cereal crisps. What's not to like? But remember this face, because we also tried something we didn't think we would: stinky tofu. As we walked through the market, we passed a stinky tofu stand with a smell that wasn't nearly as off-putting as the rest. They obviously use a lot of garlic and other spices in the preparation, and that helped mask the stink. We decided to give it a try, opting for the fried stinky tofu with cabbage and hot sauce. John gave it a go first, and actually thought it was pretty good. The texture was firm, and it kind of tasted like a garlicky hot pot. Heike was next. As you can see, she did not share the same opinion as John.
That was vomit-inducing, like licking a barnyard. The flavor got exponentially worse and worse. Blech.
She ended up spitting it out while John ate up the rest.